The State Security Committee provided a preliminary result of the investigation of the criminal case on corruption in the implementation of Kumtor project. To date, all the investigation has come to reasonable conclusion, confirmed by the collected evidence indicating large-scale corruption throughout the entire period of corruption with Canadian investors represented by Comeco and Centerra companies when concluding agreements and various additions, changes and clarifications related to the operation of the Kumtor mine, and the conditions didn't meet the fundamental interest of the people of Kyrgyz Republic. In this connection, former President Akayev, ex-Prime Minister Chingyshev, Jumagulov, and former President of the state concerned Kyrgyzaltyn Sarıgulov were brought to criminal responsibility in absentia on the fact of corruption during the conclusion of the General Agreement in 1992 and amendments to it in 1994. And the former chairman of the Committee for Reconstruction and Economic Development, Birstein, is wanted on the fact of corruption during the restructuring of the General Agreement with Comeco in 2003. Former President Akayev was also brought to criminal responsibility. As a result of this restructuring, the share of the Kyrgyz Republic in Centerra was significantly underestimated and amounted to only 33.33%. The investigation also gave a legal assessment on the fact of corruption when concluding the agreement on new conditions for the Kumtor project in 2009, where it was established that the country's top officials, realizing the disadvantage of the terms of the agreements concluded in 1992, 1994, and 2003, put the interest of Centerra above the national, deliberately provided unlimited opportunities for this company to the detriment of the environment and the economic interests of the Republic. In this connection, according to this episode, a notification of suspicion of committing a crime was handed to the former Prime Minister of the country, Igor Chudinov, and the former Chairman of the Board, Kyrgyzaltyn, Jakipov, and the former Director of the State Agency for Geology and Subsoil Use under the Ministry of Energy and Industry of the Kyrgyz Republic, Kurmanaliyev, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Yeliseyev, representative of the investor, Sazanov, former President Kurmanbek Bakiev, and his son Maxim Bakiev has been put on the wanted list. Also in connection of the facts of committing criminal acts established by the investigation in the interest of Centerra in the period of 2012-2014, former Prime Minister Babanov, First Deputy Prime Minister Sarpashov, Speaker and Deputies of Parliament Jeimbekov, Uzakbayev, Batyrbekov, Pirmatov were brought to justice to the detriment of the interests of the country, as well as all former representatives of the President and the government in the Parliament, Narynbayev, Moldosheva, taking into account the corruption fact established by the investigation of the terms of agreements with Canadian investors that do not meet the interests of the people of the Kyrgyz Republic. The investigation, together with the Prosecutor General's Office of the Republic, initiated the process of denouncing the agreements of the Kumtor project. Thus, the investigation of the episodes of 1992-2009 is at the final stage. At the same time, the investigation into the fact of the conclusion of subsequent agreements on the Kumtor project in 2017 and the introduction of amendment to the Water Code is continuing, according to the results of which the defendants will also be given a legal assessment about which the public will be additionally informed.